2024 and the upcoming 2025 in October. Plus, World Figure Sport brought the return of ISI to Lake Placid, and together with World Art, helped to secure the Art of Olympians ORDA Foundation brand to partner with ORDA and Lake Placid. Together, the World Figure Sports Society brand brings the very best to the town and ORDA because we care about local and global development of attainable art, sport, and goodwill. So the solution to the brand imbalance problem is to list the number 7, World Figure Sports Society. This addition to the contract will enhance not just local, but global development and opportunities for Lake Placid to shine. This addition will solve the imbalance of only one brand monopolizing the figure skating sector of the contract when hockey is correctly represented with multiple hockey brands in the contract. Most respectfully, my name is Karen Cortland Kelly again, most respectfully yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
You timed that perfectly, Karen. Thank you, Karen. The next speaker is Bob Maswick.
How's my hair?
You're actually, no, it's the back of your hair that's on camera.
I understand that this is a draft agreement, but the way it's written, I would recommend that the town board reject it. And I think that it should be rewritten to more fully include all the town lands that ORDA currently occupies. I find it humorous that Romer's Cafe is actually called out in the document, but the 315 acres at Van Hovenberg are not mentioned in this document at all. And I'm concerned about why they're not mentioned in this agreement. Derek, you've publicly stated that this is a perfect opportunity to clean up the language and the inventory lists. And I'll also note that on page 3 of the proposed agreement, there's a mention of the horse show grounds there too, but the horse show grounds are not included in any of the inventory lists. In the Adirondack Daily Enterprise, Derek, you go on to say that every business gets the benefit of the core importance of ORDA. And my question is simple. What benefit does the regular, ordinary citizen of this community get from this agreement? If we just do the rough math, assuming there's 2,500 residents in this community, $500,000 a year, that's costing everybody, man, woman, and child in this community, $200. What do we get for the $200? We've got over 100 kids in the Friday afternoon community ski program. What do they get out of this? I mean, if they were to show up at Van Hovenberg, are they going to get in there for free? Do they get a free trail pass? I think the way it's set up right now, the answer is no there. I think that this is a very simple issue. The preamble of the agreement identifies ORDA as a public benefit corporation, and they are clearly receiving a lot of benefit paid for by the residents of the town here. But again, what do we get in return for this? Page 6 of the proposed agreement. It's the first time Van Hovenberg is actually mentioned in the document, when it's probably the lion's share of the land. My answer to this question is pretty simple. All town residents get free access to these facilities that are located on town lands. It means a season pass at Van Ho, free admission at the Oval. It costs ORDA nothing to provide this benefit, whether they have 1 paying customer or 1,000 paying customers. They open up their doors for business that day. They've made their fixed costs. Whether there's 5 or 10 or 100 town residents there for free, it just doesn't matter. It has no impact on their bottom line here. To close, I think I want to echo kind of what Karen said here, and that is that item D of page 6, I think that should be deleted, and I think that that should be added as an exhibit to the agreement. That's going to be a dynamic document. It's going to change as the times change. You know, you've got the Lake Placid Outing Club and the community ski program that are taking the place of a lot of the groups that are mentioned there that are no longer in service anymore.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Jeff Ernstone is next. Yeah, you can take it off the stand, Jeff, too, if it gets it closer.
Okay. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to start out by putting forth a little bit different math than Bob did, just to say, I've taken this as 7,600 residents of North Alpha. So I've taken the $500,000 divided by that number and come up with, for my family of four, it would be $263 that my family of four would have to pay. I'm actually perfectly happy to pay that. I think that my family of four gets that value, especially under the leadership of Ashley Walden. I feel like ORDA is giving us what we need for that value. But where I guess I have concerns is that I feel like through the research that I've done over the years, I know a lot more than the general public on this. For example, I'm familiar with the $750,000 that is gotten from the Winter Sports Education Fund that goes directly to ORDA with the express purpose of supporting recreation and sports in the Olympic region. Okay, so when I hear that this $500,000 that the town is going to be giving is to support that, I want to know what happened to the $750,000 first. I want that accounted for. I want that to be understood. And then we can start, chipping away at that $500,000, okay? Because that money has already been allocated on an annual basis. Now, I've been told that more or less no one knows what happens, and I think that is actually a failing of the town board, because you are supposed to approve the ORDA budget every year by law, according to the authority law, and it doesn't happen. You're not looking into that budget to find out where that money is being spent. So, I personally, once again, I would like to stick with that. I think that we should be supporting ORDA, and I really like a lot of the initiatives that I've seen done over the last year. But at the same time, I think we do need to know where, a little bit more about where that money is being spent, how it's being spent. And that is actually by law, your requirement and what you're supposed to be doing. The only other thing I'd like to add is that I think this, the replacement of the old language of the community, the CAP, the ORDA CAP being replaced with the community, what's the new language of it? This new organization. It's a good idea. I think it's a great idea. I think the language in that framework that I've seen is strong and it'd be helpful. It's a manageable group. What I would like to see is that also added into the contract. Okay, there's some vague language in section G, I believe, that talks about community engagement, but there is actually no mention of the CEC in the agreement. Why isn't that in the agreement? If this is something that they have to do to make sure that we get our value for money, then it should be written into this agreement like the other provisions.
4 seconds is fair. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
We do.
Brian Magnus.
Hi, can you hear me? Brian Magnus, resident of Lake Placid. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I wanted to first commend you on the inclusion of that section 7E, which is the provision for the community engagement. I think that's an important piece of the agreement. And like Jeff just said, I guess I would just reiterate, I would encourage you to incorporate the language that's currently in that other document, I guess it's a memo of sorts, into the agreement so that it kind of stands the test of time. I think it's a good structure the way it's set up now, more flexible than the prior cap. And I just think it's important to enshrine it into the agreement itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Debbie Aaronstone.
Hi, Debbie Aaronstone, just as a local resident and then also here kind of representing the Dark Skies Committee. Number one, I'd love to start with sincere gratitude. I think Ashley has done an exceptional job since taking the helm at ORDA, and I'm so appreciative of the time that she's given me personally to hear my thoughts on things. And then also gratitude to the town board, because I know this is a thankless task. So I only had 2 items. First, I would like to echo the sentiments of Brian Magnus and Jeff, that I think the community engagement panel is an exceptional idea and therefore should be enshrined in the contract. Because while we all hope that Ashley will be at the helm for 20 years, we really want to safeguard ourselves as citizens. I know that when so many of the improvements occurred relating to FISU, things like the lighting at the Oval really negatively impacted a lot of the citizens who lived nearby. And I tried to submit feedback through every single mechanism that ORDA offered at that time and received absolutely no feedback. So we really need to enshrine an official mechanism for us residents to give really important feedback, because as I said, Ashley is very generous with her time, but she doesn't have time to respond to every citizen. So that would be my one point. My second request would be the consideration that future improvements to the venues, given that they are on town land, that they follow local code rules and ordinances. That just seems kind of logical to me. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. And Greg Denon is our final speaker signed up.
Thank you and good evening. My name is Greg Denon, and this is important. It's actually discouraging that there aren't more people here. The significance of this. I've taken some time and I appreciate the comments that have previously been made. As I go through this, it's pretty evident to me that there have been a lot of liberties taken, and at a minimum, I urge you strongly to stop, pause, and revisit this whole thing. And in the context of the agreement, you're referring to previous agreements that were made, and I suggest that they be incorporated into the agreement so somebody looking at this has a full understanding of the history. It's not clear to me, have you been operating without a legally binding agreement over the last 10 years? I don't know that, and I don't think a lot of people in this community know that. It's an interesting thing when you look at the history that originally the town agreed to pay money, but when you look at this, it's about all the surrounding areas. And let's face it, this organization's grown to the level where it's now a statewide thing. So I started having an issue like, why is it just the people of the town of North Alba who are now paying $500,000 a year? And to Bob Maswick's point, what are we getting for that? And to that end, I urge you to all give some thought. This organization was given, I've lost track of the amount of money that they've taken in. But as my own, personally, I'm blessed to be able to take advantage of the facilities. But I think it's, as time passes, it's pretty evident that there wasn't a lot of consideration to the average person, whether they live here or visit here. They all seem to be for high-level competitions, and I think that's a shame. And all you have to do is go down to the speed skating oval on a 10-degree night and struggle to say, where are you going to put on your skates? Or go out to Van Hoe and try to navigate where somebody who's trying to learn to ski has no idea where to go to. And it's a shame given that level of money. You look at the hockey box, which it's not clear at all. There aren't lights there. Where do you park? Where do you put your skates on? And you've got somebody on a mic, reprimanding people from the hockey box. And so it's the town's a part of it. And there was a lot of money that's come in. Nothing comes in life for free. And I think as part of this, for better or worse, this community is advanced. We're tied in with ORDA, but sometimes you pay a price. That might be the spirit of this community. But please take this seriously and before you enter into the agreement.
Thank you, Greg. I will open it up if there's any person that didn't sign up that would like to speak. So I don't know your name, so clearly state your name.
My name clearly. My name is Audrey Heisen, and I've been a Lake Placid resident for 35 years. I think I did not come prepared to make remarks, but now that I've gotten to look at the document a little bit and I see the seat proposal, which I think is a good idea. I feel that ORDA there's been a great tension between people who live here and our life experience here and ORDA and the work that ORDA does. ORDA is incredibly important for Lake Placid. I'm completely aware of that. I have found living here has become less and less resident friendly over the 35 years that I have lived here. To be specific for things with ORDA, the improvements done at Mount Van Hoevenberg recently have been wonderful for international competitions, and they've been devastating for local cross-country skiers. Nobody wants to go there anymore. It's not friendly. It's not, we had this cozy, wonderful lodge. We had a very healthy group of local skiers who we'd see all our friends there. And now it's just large and industrial and impersonal, and the legacy trails are not considered very important. This is frustrating and really saddening, because I always, anywhere I went, I could say, we have the most amazing ski area for our community, and we can all go use it. And now it's not like that. But I support that we support ORDA. I don't have a problem with that, because ORDA brings many important things to us. But at the same time, I think we should be getting more as residents here for what we do to support ORDA. And I also have been a long time volunteer at Van Hoevenberg, and I volunteered at the ski jumps. And the other problem that's occurred is that volunteering has gotten to be very difficult because of all the online hoops you have to jump through. But I suspect this all has to do with insurance, so I won't bring that up as anything that can be changed. But thank you for having a hearing, and please do go through this carefully, because it is a really important agreement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. I think I saw someone else.
Hi there, I'm Scott Phillip Lewis. I would like to advise the board to clean up the language in this agreement. Specifically, I'm concerned about the language in section 4C, which gives the town, it wants the town to agree that the Olympic Authority can act in a manner that maximizes revenue. It refers to Public Authorities Law, section 2606. And if you look more closely at that language, it doesn't authorize maximizing revenue. What it states is maximizing revenue opportunities to take advantage of the opportunity to improve the physical fitness and athletic and recreational education for the people of this state in the United States. So it's maximizing revenue is not the same as maximizing revenue opportunities, especially to take advantage of what these facilities have to offer, which is improving the physical fitness and athletic and recreational education of the people of this great state of New York and the United States of America. So I highly recommend, we are in the building where someone once said, great moments are born from great opportunity. To add that part of Public Authorities Law 2606 and have the Olympic Authority to agree to that they are maximizing revenue opportunities to take advantage of that opportunity. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Well, with that, I will say that the public hearing is remaining open. I'm not going to give you a day, because we're going to stay tuned to the Town of North Hills website for another public hearing notice. I made it this long. Written comments can be sent to, and I was going to put this in the chat, but no one's there. If you'd like to make a written comment, you can go to clerk@northelba.org, and those will continue to be accepted until we close the public hearing. Ryan, I lost my mic.
It's okay. The only thing we have left to do is adjourn the meeting.
You want to mention how or when?
I'm not going to mention when. We'll take comments too, because there's going to be a second public hearing.
Okay.
So you're not in danger of running out of time right now.
Thank you, everyone. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Jason, second. Dick? Yep. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.